As Christians, we're called to draw people to Christ. Yet the moment we see someone stumbling in their faith walk, out come the pointing fingers of condemnation. And that's really dangerous because some aren't just leaving the church. Some are turning away from God altogether. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed because His compassion fails not. They're new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. I'm Claudia Parker, and today on 5 Minutes of Faith, my guest Kim Adams will share a very transparent testimony on how God has given her the grace to be. Have a look.
I'm Kim Adams, founder and CEO of Grace to Be, and this is 5 Minutes of Faith with Claudia Parker. I was in my early 20s when I first received Christ into my life. I recall being at a church service, and there was a woman there, and she was a guest speaker, and she was preaching on just releasing your burdens and just shedding off dead weight and old past hurts. And I was arrested in the spirit. That's what I call it. Immediately, that warm feeling became more of a heavy, loving feeling. I recall that just being that very moment of knowing that Christ was real, and that that was the day that I accepted salvation into my life. I've been married now for 16 years. My husband, Malcolm, and I, we had a courtship that was long distance. He is here from Chicago, and I lived in Virginia. And for a few months, we were doing the long distance dating thing until we decided to actually become a thing and build a relationship. And in the middle of that courtship, we became intimate. I got pregnant as a result of being intimate, and we ended up getting married a lot sooner than we had expected. And my husband is not only a minister, but I was serving in my church as well, and very active. And so we struggled a little bit early on in our courtship, and then even after we decided to get married. We had to come against some of the people that wanted to shame us, wanted to throw their opinions about what they think of us. And Jesus Christ died for us, and He bore our sins and every heavy weight. So we lay those burdens aside because we know that He cares for us. And that's really what kept us going 16 years later. It's through our faith. It's through grace, because the enemy would love to highlight when you are flawed. He would love to highlight when you have fallen. But you can get back up. Christian Breon Adams was born in December of 2002. A child that we did not expect early on, but yet he has become the greatest blessing in our lives. When I was going through baby names, even before he was born, God told me that his initials would be CBA. CBA means chosen by Almighty. Because of the place that I was when I first conceived Chris, in that dark place of doubt and shame, He told me, no, Chris is a blessing, and I want you to name him with those initials, CBA, chosen by Almighty. So when I first delivered Chris, had him in my arms, all of that shame, doubt, fears kind of fell away. I knew that he was a gift from God, and that I embraced him just as he was. It was around about a year, I started noticing that Chris wasn't meeting his milestones. Early intervention came into our home and evaluated Chris, and they shared our concerns about him showing signs of delay. At that time, we went through some more testing, and all I was told was, he's just globally delayed. I didn't know what globally delayed was. Can you give me some kind of diagnosis? What is this? Is it autism? Is it Down syndrome? What does globally delayed mean? I decided when he was about 15 to 18 months year old, somewhere in between there, to accept him and accept his difference. When I saw you take the stage, it was a joy to see. Graduation day is here. I never thought it would be. Tears streamed down my face. as I reflect on the day when it was hard to smile because of your delay. Your gift is bright and it shines like a light. To everyone you meet, they are changed by what they see. I was reminded once again, as you pressed in, how delay is not denied because you are not a result of sin. My life purpose is to encourage, empower, and elevate others just to live their truth. I started Grace to Be a little over 2 years ago. For that purpose alone is to walk in your truth and live your grace. The world needs you. The world is waiting on you, the real you, to show up.